Hey y'all, if you love the charm of coastal France, think rugged cliffs, sea spray rocks, and quiet solitude, you're gonna fall in love with this destination. So let's explore the wild beauty of this coastal gem. So I found this land buried very deep in my landmarks, and I'm super duper glad that it's still here. If you guys are new here, welcome. I'm Shy in Second Life, and on this channel we check out aesthetically pleasing places in the virtual world of Second Life, and I also sporadically do lifestyle vlogs. So if you're interested in content like this, go ahead and subscribe. So y'all, I have gone through so much with this aperture viewer trying to get everything together. Come to find out my settings were set too high. Go figure. Go figure. In my mind, I kind of felt like the higher the better, but that indeed is not the case when it comes to this viewer in particular. Now, I did also check out Black Dragon. I kind of went back to looking at the other viewers that I had, and for me, it's just something about the Black Dragon viewer that it just, for my desktop, it just does not perform the way that I want it to perform. On my laptop, it's chef's kiss. Now, I don't know if it's just because I have so much stuff loaded on my desktop that maybe it's just not enough space for Black Dragon to be able to perform at its best, but I don't have time for those type of headaches, not making no kind of space for it. So I did a little back history on this land. It's been around for quite some time, and it is absolutely beautiful from what I'm seeing thus far. I did pan out, and this place is huge. Will this be a two-parter? We shall see. So a lot of these spaces, specifically spaces like this, I am going to want to pan in, because what we do know is that when we go into, when we go into spaces like this, we do tend to spend a little bit more time in here than we probably should, looking at every little thing. And I definitely want us to be able to get through this land in one video. That's always the goal, but sometimes the lands are just super duper vast, and it's going to be a two-parter. But when I tell you the landing point on this land, which was not very far from where we started, absolutely breathtaking. I really love how they kind of plant you just like really in the middle of everything, but you have this beautiful lush greenery to look around and stuff like that. It gives the land just a very bi-coastal type feel, very like cottage quarry type vibes. Is definitely in a rural area, almost like a forgotten type land, so to speak. But it definitely feels like anybody could come here, but it would be a place where it's like you have to know where you're going. I love that they do have a lot of different seating spaces, and we love a good land where you can sit down. Look how pretty this is. It's just, everything is just so pretty. It's very walky thus far, but we don't mind a walky land. I actually kind of like a walky land, depending on the landscaping. This is a land where everything is very aesthetically pleasing, very scenic, and I do like that. I also like that they have the seating spaces just in different types of elements. So it's like you could sit here, and can you sit over here? You probably could stand over here. You probably could stand over here. I'm not getting no hand or nothing, but they have like beautiful little backdrops if you wanted to take a picture with the sea lions. Just very pretty. The lighting here, really nice. Now, was I a bit apprehensive about the lighting here? Absolutely. Now, this is something that you actually can sit on, this little circle right here. The lighting, I didn't know if it was gonna be okay. And it's so crazy because every time I come to these lands, I'm always just very apprehensive about the lighting and whether or not the lighting is going to be okay for us. But every single time I give it a chance, the lighting is always okay for us. So they have these little like hidden spaces like this where you have like a little hidden seating area. It's a cute little swing. I'm sure couples could sit on there, but I think the backdrop for pictures would be absolutely beautiful, because like, look at that. It's given very like almost like a southern charm to it. Now, one thing I did notice was there were quite a few of these bridges around when I panned out. So I really do like that they added this as a concept as to how you can kind of navigate from space to space, where it's just not necessarily like a clear-cut path, but they do give you these, I don't know, I'm just walking, y'all, but they do give you these bridges that you can like cross over to just get to different spaces, as opposed to having different landings or different type of rocks that you can walk up, or stairs and stuff like that. So I do like that. So when I tell y'all, this aperture viewer, I'm still working on it. You know what? It is, for me, it is definitely, what's this? Because we ain't come through here. It's definitely something about anytime I find a viewer where something is just a little bit more crisp, Can I walk it? Oh, okay. When the textures are a little bit more crisp than any other viewer that I've been in, it's kind of difficult for me to kind of stray away from that. I do love the crispness of the Aperture viewer, and so that's the main reason why I'm still just like, I'm gonna give it a little chance. Do I feel like it's forever evolving? Yes. Do I feel like they are doing some things on the background, in the background, to kind of help the viewer get better? Yes, I also do think they are doing that as well, but not quite there when it comes to like the rendering of graphics. Like when you pan out, sometimes it'll be a little pixelated or the colors will be completely off, but then they'll pop back in. Firestorm viewer doesn't have that issue at all. Now, the ease of viewing is definitely better in the Firestorm viewer. However, the graphics, in my opinion, are vastly better in the Aperture viewer, which is why I'm like, listen, we gonna thug it out. We gonna thug it out, especially because I figured out how to get my settings correct, where I wasn't just like going through it. It was crazy because my settings were like way too high. You know, ChatGPT for the win every time they gave me the right settings. Absolutely love how they have meshed all of the different greeneries with the rocks, and then they have just little bunnies and goats and things like that. Lots of birds here. How cute! I love it with the little sparkles in the eye. So pretty. The land, it just has such a nice soft vibe to it. I really like that. So you see how this is just like another bridge that you can cross over, and it's so pretty. I really do love the sounds here. I haven't panned in on no water in a while. Is the water giving what it needs to give? Not really, but that's okay. That's absolutely okay. I love all of these different elevations. Look how pretty this is. Just so pretty. Makes you want to have like a very flowy dress in. It's giving the hills are alive with the sound of music, and we love that. We absolutely love that. Everything is so pretty here. When I tell you, this is one of those lands where it's definitely giving thus far less is more, and we know that. We definitely know that. So the flowers here are so pretty. I love this little pop of color that they have with all of the greenery around. Everything has very like earthy tones, and then you have like this really nice pop of pink. I really do like that. So I've come to the conclusion. Have I done my hair yet? No. But let me tell you what's going on. So for me, when I do my hair, I think I know that it's coming from a space of understanding that when it comes to my hair, that is really my time to be as creative as I want to be. And so it's difficult for me to do a style that I feel is quote unquote familiar. You know what I'm saying? Like I could do some small box braids. I could do some, what does this lead to? I could do some boho knotless and things like that. But it's like I do like to have those very like expressive hairstyles. And so I've come to the conclusion that is the reasoning as to why I'm having this very weird apprehension. Another beautiful sitting space. Look at that backdrop. Lovely. I'm having that very weird apprehension on like doing my hair, because it's like, okay, well, do I do a style that is more like quote unquote common, or do I do a style that I really want to do, but then that style might not last as long as like box braids will last? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. It's like, how soon do I want to redo my hair? And it's like, I feel like I'm moving out of that space of having styles for a very long time. This is a really cute like little bathhouse type feel area. There was a time where I would like to do my hair and just keep it up for the month. You know, that was just what I would do. I would do my hair and just forget about it. I've come to understand that I do like the versatility of being able to do my hair when I want to do it, as often as I want to do it, but also keeping in mind that because I am always actively wanting to continue to grow my hair, that I don't want to manipulate it too much. But it also is just that thing about, it's like, I don't feel like I want styles that are gonna last the whole month anymore. And it's a very special place to be in. I never thought that this would be a space that I would come to, but it really truly is. It's just like the thought of having a style in my head that would last for the month. For me, it is giving me like extreme anxiety, which is beyond weird for me. I really had to talk that out, because I was trying to figure out like, what's taking you so long? Like, what is the apprehension on you starting your hair? And I really had to just like talk to myself for real, and be like, okay, well, what is it? And I'm just like, I don't think that I want to do like a common style, if you will, like a known style. like I was saying, like box braids or boho braids or island twists or things like that. And it's like, if I do, I want to put my own type of spin on it. And I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. But when I tell you, these last couple of weeks, I've really been struggling with that, because normally when I want to do my hair, I'll just go ahead and prep everything and I'll do my hair. Now, for me, the parts that I dislike the most about starting my hair is going to be the wash and blow dry. It's really like the preparation. Parting as well. Parting is really like the bane of my existence. It always is like the back is always okay, but it's something about the front. So I watched a bunch of different tutorials. Look at this cute little farmhouse, this little chicken. I watched a bunch of different tutorials on how to part your hair, specifically in the front and stuff like that. So I'm very, very confident now, more than ever, when it comes to parting my hair. But that definitely was an issue that I was having in the beginning. And then because it's something about, for me, it's just, look at these little bunnies. It's something about the ear to ear. It's like I'll part from ear to ear, but I feel like when it comes to the middle of the top of my head, I slope in too much. So it's just like not enough space in the front. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's definitely something that I have struggled with for a while. But then watching these videos on TikTok, I now feel very confident, and I'm seeing like, okay, this is what you're doing that is different from what you should be doing. And so now I'm a little bit excited about parting my hair, but because I know that the style that I'm wanting is possibly going to need different types of parting, I'm still kind of just like apprehensive about the whole thing, which is weird. I know, it's very weird, especially because it's me and it's I'm doing my own hair. So it's not like I'm doing somebody else's hair. I don't have any like events or anything to go to, so it's not like, oh, things need to be absolutely perfect. But at the same time, I'm not one of those people that I don't like to do my hair and then I get done with my hair and it's not what I like, because I don't want to have to go through taking it down again and just going through that whole entire process. To me, that's a little bit more tedious than I would ever want it to be. Look how pretty this is. I love how they have like the little frothy waves, and then it goes out to just like the stillness. To me, every time I see water like this, it always gives the illusion of like where the foam is, the water is not so bad, but that stillness, that still water, yeah, that is deep. It's deep out there. It's quite deep. This is such a pretty place. I love how they separated out this space from the other spaces. So like, this is just like a more like quaint beach type vibe, but it still has that very like rustic cottage type feel to it, and I think that's super duper nice. So I'm so glad that I was able to talk myself through what my apprehension was, but now it's all about the execution. Now, did I spend all yesterday figuring out aperture and figuring out like the proper graphics? Absolutely. I love this little space. It's so pretty, and I love how the lighting is, where it's just like really, really bright. Like the sun is just very, very much so exposed, and then you come into like this little space. It's almost giving like a foresty type, portal type vibe. I don't even know if this is something we supposed to be. What's this? Walking through. Oh, okay. And then the lighting has changed. So this is a different sim. So it's at least 2 sims for sure. Ooh, things got really dark. Like really, really dark. Yesterday, when I tell you it was such a doozy between the aperture viewer and Black Dragon, I just kind of gave up on Black Dragon, because I was just like, you know what, even for me, when it comes between aperture viewer and Black Dragon, I do like the aperture viewer better than Black Dragon, which I never thought that I would say that, because Black Dragon for the longest was very much so top tier. It's still a very, very good viewer, but for the experience, I did want to kind of figure out aperture viewer. Can I go in here? Look how cool this is. It's like a little secret space. So let's see how far up we are. Wow, look at this. We're all the way up here, y'all. Yeah, so it was quite a doozy trying to figure out how to get up out of that tower, but we did it, Joe. So this is such a beautiful, look how beautiful this is. I feel like we have just like been teleported into like a completely different realm. This is so nice. Everything has a very like mystical, it's giving enchanted now. Very different from where we were when we landed. So I'm very, very excited to see like what they have in store. So side note, it is currently the 4th of July when I am filming this, and it is also starting to get dark. So if you're popping in the background, that's fireworks. Look how pretty this is. how pretty. Look at the purple. Oh, I really like this. So this is just like a super cute, like cafe type vibe, almost like a, what do you call it when it's like a midtown center type thing going on. Super duper cute, but everything does have like a very like witchy rude type vibe. I don't know if it's the colors or that's just the vibe that I'm picking up on. I don't really know, but I do like it. The lighting is so nice. It is so nice. Lots of different wildlife. Is this something that we could look at here? This was giving like apothecary type vibes. Yeah, I love this. Look how nice this is. Speaking of apothecary type vibes, so I'm still like on the fence of what I'm gonna do with my land. A part of me wants to just kind of like switch the house out. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, but definitely going to do something. What is this? How I get in here? Okay, don't do me like that. Oh, look at this. This is nice. This is really nice. So part of me wants to do like a whimsical type vibe. Now, have I ever done a whimsical land? No, but I'm very interested in doing a whimsical land now, and I think it definitely has to do with the fact that we visited quite a few whimsical lands, and I'm like, you know what, I've tried a lot of different styles of housing on Second Life, but whimsical has never been one of them. I don't know why. I think there's a part of me that has the apprehension is coming from like, can I do this? Am I going to be able to let my idea of living go to a different space, a space that's very unfamiliar to me? And I think that I can, especially because there's so many different spaces in Second Life that gives us, that's given me so many different creative ideas. I love this cake. This cake or pancakes, I don't know, it's looking like a cake. So but you see how like the lighting is just like peeking through, so it gives you just like a little bit of a glimpse of what this is. I really like the transition of lighting on this land. They did an exceptional job, especially in this space, because if you look like beyond the window, like you can see the original lighting somewhat, because when we landed it was even brighter than that, but you can kind of see how the whole vibe of the space has changed tremendously, and I do like that. It definitely has a mystical feel to it, a very just hocus pocus, if you will, for lack of a better word. I do like it. It is giving medieval in this space as well. I don't know if it's like the chalice is giving me that type of vibe, or it's just like the lighting or perhaps the decorations, and then the castle type feel with the tower and all of that. So it's definitely giving like a really nice medieval vibe. Now, originally the main area that we were in when we first started was giving very like bi-coastal. You know, it was giving very like, you know, shipwreck village type countryside vibes, and I really do like that. I really do like that. And this space is giving a different like mystical, magical, just witchy rue medieval castle type vibe, and I like that as well. I love all of the beautiful colors. Everything is very like, the lighting makes everything look just, I forgot the name of this fruit. The lighting makes everything just look very mysterious and very mystical, and I do like that. It has a very nice enchanted vibe, but not like a fairy tale, like a really like adult enchanted vibe. I don't even know if you guys really understand what I'm trying to say, but that's like the best way that I can describe it. The lighting is dark, but the way that they have things accented, specifically with a lot of the pieces, they have like the little shine on it and stuff like that, so you're still able to get like a nice little glimpse of stuff, and it's not like you are struggling to see things. And so I really do like that. It's like, it's not crystal clear, but you get a nice idea of what things are, and I do like that. So like you see this seashell, and it's maybe not been able to see that when you were like farther away, but being closer up, you get to see like different details. I do like that you can't see like everything. It does hold like a really nice mystical vibe to it, the fact that you really can't see everything like right away. When I tell y'all this land is beyond beautiful, but I know for sure There are going to be a lot of spaces that we are not going to get to see together because I am completely lost. I'm completely lost with this lighting, y'all. I love that the lighting is just light enough where you can see everything that you need to see, but your paths are a little bit dimmed. Now this is giving bayou type vibes. And so I'm walking, and every time I think I know where I am, I end up in a different place. I thought I was on a path, but a path I am on no more. I don't even know where I am. So at this point, we just about to be thugging it out. You know, that's one of my favorite things for us to do, is just to go ahead and thug it out. And so that's what we're gonna do. When I tell you this land is made so nice, we're definitely on like a completely different part of this land. It's a completely different vibe. It's very darkened by just, I'm not gonna say darkened, it is a darker land, but it does have like a darker vibe to it, almost like a haunted type vibe. So look at this. This is just like it's giving like a forgotten bar type space. Really nice. I love how everything is decorated, but then it's like, I don't know, is it a bar? Is it a house? It's not a house because it's just like a bunch of tables here. So it's like a restaurant. Perhaps a restaurant. Backgammon, one of my favorite games ever. My mom taught me how to play backgammon, and it has been a treat. It's one of my favorite games that I do like to play. Lots of nice goodies, lots of nice baked goods in here. It's really nice, really nice. Every time I think I know like the vibe of the space, they'll have like accents like this that make me kind of just rethink everything, because it's like, is it spooky, is it haunted, or is it just me experiencing this space at night, experiencing this space in a darker light? And so because it's kind of like, I don't really know where I'm going, and it's almost like it does have the feeling of just like walking around in the dark, or like if you were alone in a forest and you had to like walk around and try to find your way. It's like, it's spooky because I don't really know where I'm going, but it's not like haunted, you know what I'm saying? So I really do like the contrast in lighting. So over here it looks like the sun is going down, and then over here, although you can still see the light, the sun is going down as well, but the water just gives it a different vibe. So like, this has a much calmer vibe to me than this. This gives a little spooky. Am I wrong? I don't know. I want to see what's in here. Y'all, look at this. What? Look how pretty. When I tell y'all, when I save this landmark, I 100% did not know that all of this was on this land. I came to wherever the landmark took me. I thought it looked nice and I thought it was interesting. I did not see any of this. I would have been came here. And you know what? That says a lot about how I'm saving landmarks, clearly. But you know what? Not really. Because what we do know happens, I love this artwork. What we do know what happens with me. I'm constantly like looking for places for us to go to, and then I'll find places and I'll end up going to the newer places before I go to like the landmarks that I've already had. And so that makes it where we will miss out on places like this. That's why I'm so glad that this place is still around, because when I tell you, I've had this landmark for quite a while indeed. So I'm very glad that they still have this place for us to be able to enjoy and tour. Look at these candlesticks. I love this. This is so like gothic medieval times. I love the vibes in here. I love it. I love the satin sheets. I love everything about this space. When I tell you everything about this space, look at this cute little checkerboard. Super cute. I love the little added details like the room key 69. You know, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. So it's like a second life touch. You know, it's always gonna have something a little freaky deaky for you. You know, just to keep you on your toes. Is this a tub? Oh, wait a minute. This is a tub. How cute is this? I keep coming across so many beautiful spaces that I really feel like it's not fair to me or y'all for this to not be a space that we view in its entirety. So I'm not sure how long we've been here thus far. I feel like we've been here for quite a bit, but there's a good chance that this will be a two-parter, and I feel like this is very deserving of being a two-parter if it definitely has to be.